It is our hypertrophy, and I need to discuss this topic of self-improvement and where so many people go wrong. I'm definitely not the most self-improved person on all of the humanity or whatever the shit, but considering where I've come from, I'd say I've come pretty far, in a certain sense, here and there. I mean, I'm definitely not perfect. I have so much room to grow, but I believe that I definitely believe that I have ascertained more success in the way I've done things to prove myself versus what these guys are going to tell you. Man to man. Actually, I'm going to show you the thing. There's no music. I don't give a shit. Okay, but ignore the orange and whatever. Man to man. If your life is a mess, you need to start working 18 hours a day, 24/7, no days off. Just gotta hustle, eat, and sleep. It's the only way out. Now, I actually don't know if this is satire or not, and also my fucking tripod is garbage. Okay, there we go. I don't know if it's satire or not, but I will say this. A lot of people take this shit to heart, because they believe that if they go from one extreme to the other, that it's gonna all of a sudden go better. Here's the thing. You are in this rut because you're an extremist. Because, well, look at your room. It's a mess because you live in an extreme sort of mindset where, oh, if it's not 100% clean, then it's dirty. So then why the hell should I even pick up that piece of tissue on the side of the room? Why should I even invest in a good bin with a lid? I'll just throw my cans everywhere. Because if it's not 100% clean, then it's 0% clean. Oh, my friggin', oh no, I hate myself so much. I hate myself because of all the bad things I've done. And I hate myself so much to a point where I won't even improve on myself because I don't believe that I have any ability to improve on myself. Because I'm in an extreme mindset. This sort of mindset of going from, I'm someone who's a very extreme person. Listen, you put me in front of Unreal Engine 5, I will be on that thing for like fucking 7 hours of the day. No eating, no drinking, no sleeping, nothing. I will literally ruin my sleep schedule if you even give me a piece of work to do. I'm dead ass with you. And it's wrong, because you have to have a balance in your life. And especially when it comes to actually improving on yourself, whether it be in the gym or whatever. I mean, this channel's gonna mostly be in the gym. But you cannot go from being a slob to 18 hours a day. Think about what 18 hours even is. That is 6 hours of sleep. And it's not even slightly possible. 18 hours. Let's just be real. Okay. Who here goes to sleep as soon as they hit the pillow? Who? And even if you did, do you get as much deep sleep as you think you do? Or do you just, have a few times where you toss and turn? You wake up and you need to take a piss. Oh, now there's you had a little smoke of the weed, or maybe you had like a little extra drink or two, and then suddenly your sleep is actually just like a very bad rest, because you're not actually getting any deep sleep. Okay, so even with all that being said, you're sleeping only 6 hours a day, which for a lot of people isn't enough, especially if you go to the gym and actually train. 18 hours a day of hustling is fucking dumb, because you have to take a shit, you have to shower, you have to cook, you have to eat, you have to do general duties around the house, you have to, do chores and stuff. You can't hustle for 18 hours. And even if you could, how are you going to sustain that? And what sort of life are you going to lead after you've done this sort of thing? Are you going to be like this? This just reminds me of the people who put obese people on restrictive diets of like 5 sticks of celery, but not 6 because there's too many calories. And then it's like, oh, they lost like 50 pounds in like 3 weeks. Awesome. Now they're gonna go and gain 60 because they're so sick and tired of celery that they'd rather be fat. This sort of mentality of going from one extreme to the other when it comes to productivity is the exact same thing. And I don't get why this sort of advice is still being hustled, because it does nothing but benefit the person that's posting it. I can guarantee you that person is not hustling 18 hours a day. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to aim for higher and higher levels of productivity if you need it for your own personal goals. I am saying though, you can't necessarily sustain this, and it's not a good introduction to the life of productivity. If you're gonna be out here, playing computer games all day, every day, jerking off 50 times a day, and then you're gonna be out here, I don't know, eating fast food, like from the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep, and the moment you wake up is like 6 in the afternoon. How are you going to suddenly go from that to waking up at 6 a.m.? You're going to be eating nothing but broccoli and rice and freaking chicken that you definitely don't know how to cook, and you probably burnt it and you overcooked it to the point where there's no juices, and you skip every little soda you ever had in your life. You won't even go for diet, you go for water. Which, hey, that's good. And if you enjoy all of that, you have all the right to do that. But a lot of people don't, and that's why they're in the sort of situations that they're in, and they then try to shock themselves into another lifestyle. Let me tell you this right now, it's not like fear. Fear, you can probably do shock therapy. Well, not shock therapy, that's the wrong terminology. But you know the therapy where you really go and hammer a person with like a ton of, like if you're an arachnophobe, you got like 50 spiders crawling up your arms and legs and in your pussy to be able to get you over that fear. Productivity isn't like that. You don't have that ability to do that. It's just not the. I mean, you can adapt for a certain bit of time, and if the reward is big enough, maybe you'll adhere to it. But there will be a time where you will burn out, and you'll associate anything productive with being suffering. And the thing is, if you want to be successful, you do have to go through a bit of suffering. But not only do you need to go through a little bit of suffering, you also need to have the joy and the passion in the work that you do. Also, you gotta realize that no matter how much you grind, you're not gonna be a billionaire. I'm sorry, mate, you're not gonna be a billionaire. You aren't. You're never gonna be it. Get that out of your head. A lot of these people that are billionaires, they bought companies from their parents or their parents' money. They've had a lot of handouts over their lives because of connections, and you probably don't have those connections. And whatever the hell you think you do, it's just not going to go to $1 billion. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to discourage you. But there's a lot of people who will be thoroughly discouraged if they believe that they're going to get X amount of thing in X amount of time if they do X amount of work. It does not work like that. That's why I've burnt myself out completely over YouTube in the past, because I would try and make a video and I'd get like 4 seconds retention time, even if I spent 5,000 freaking millennia on a video, editing it to be perfect, re-recording it a trillion times, because I thought I was entitled to a certain amount of views or a certain amount of whatever, just the amount of work I would do. Sorry, I'm burping like a bitch right now. I've been burping like crazy as of recent, so I hope you forgive me. I'm kind of sick, so I guess I just be burping for some reason. I got the sick, bro. Another one's coming up. It's like trying to in my freaking esophagus. Let me see. God hustling, and listen, God is cool if you use him right and you don't use him to hate on people, because that's often what's happening. Because the thing is, a lot more people are evil than you actually think they are. There's too much, like, people genuinely think evil is reserved for like 3 people in a country or whatever. They think, oh well, Marilyn Manson, Jeffrey Dahmer. There's actually quite a few evil dickheads in your community right now. I got a person in my freaking community who fucked a horse. I'm not even dead. I'm dead ass with you. He had sex with a Shetland pony. He put carrots in his fucking mouth. In the mouth. He brought fucking Vaseline. He oiled up a Shetland pony in my neighborhood. I'm not even kidding. I'm not gonna tell you who it is, because it might dox me a little bit, though I'm not the most, but at the same time, I'm not pretty. But you know what I mean. It's crazy. But there's evil lurking right there. And yeah, he was super religious. He was like, oh, don't listen to music. Don't you listen to music, because if you reverse the song, it kind of sounds like evil lyrics. Dead ass like the meme where there's like, Justin Bieber said, "Hail Satan," if you reverse the music backwards. Reverse the music backwards. What the fuck's wrong with me? You know what I mean, though. He was that type of guy, and he fucked a horse. And there's tons of people who use religion in the worst way possible. Like in freaking Israel. isn't real, as I like to call it, freaking bombing a bajillion kids because, God forbid, they don't like it when their land gets stolen because a bunch of Ashkenazi freaking Europeans from Europe want to go and sunburn themselves in the Middle East because they believe 3,000 years ago they were entitled to it. So they're entitled to all the organ harvesting and all the war crimes that they can ever do on the Palestinian people. By the way, free Palestine. Any Zionist can go cry in the comments. I don't give a damn. You can go, wah, anti-Semitic. I'm not anti-Semitic. If you are, you know what, you right there, are anti-Semitic if you believe that the existence of Jews hinges solely on killing a bunch of people, like 100, 200k people. You are the anti-Semitic one for insisting that Jews cannot exist at all without destroying entire countries, shedding so much blood. I'm the one saying that's not exactly inherent to Judaism, and the Jews are just like everyone else. And a lot of people who actually follow the 10 Commandments don't want children to die. Whoa! They don't want children to die. Whoa! And to those who say Pakistan, I don't give a shit what you say, because if that was the case, how the hell come I've never seen Palestine as one of the main, filming locations in Hollywood movies? Why the hell is Hollywood so popular if Pallywood, or whatever the hell the people calling it now, is so freaking, so proficient in CGI? It is so mind-boggling. Anyway, those are huge tangent. Free Palestine. I don't give a shit what anyone says. But yeah. I that was off the deep end. I didn't even. Yeah, this is a video about self-improvement, and I just like, and I'm very passionate about it. But yeah, if you use God for a good purpose and you use Him as a source of meditation and inner peace and hope, and you don't use it to belittle people and destroy people's lives and use legislation to weaponize legislation to make other people's lives harder, then that's cool. And I'd say, you know what, God could be great for that. Just be careful of the communities you go to, because there's a ton of people who are, again, just straight up evil and straight up wrong in the head, that have co-opted and coerced and usurped a religion to be able to benefit themselves. Pretty much. Eat, sleep is the only way out. Well, how the hell are you going to sleep if you only got 6 hours of probably not even good sleep? Have you ever tried coding? Have you tried coding late into the night? Or doing editing late into the night after like 7-8 hours of sleep? You fucking go and look over YouTube and like fart, boom, sound effect, freaking .mp3 or whatever. And then you go to another one, it's like cat shocked emoji or whatever the shit. Or, freaking, what the hell? Meme MP4. And you like have all these memes in your head. And then you try to go sleep, but all you can hear is, what the hell? It just gets stuck in your head. You wanna have so much sleep. You wanna have all this sleep to be productive. Which, by the way, you have to have sleep to be able to be productive. You must. And people always keep forgetting that. They think that they could just outwork sleep or something. Or like, if they just forget the sleep and then do all the work, it's going to be all the reward. Hell no! How the hell are you going to be productive if you've been on your ass, on your feet for like 15, 16, 17, 18 hours? Barely eating, barely shitting, barely pissing. I mean, hell, if you really wanted to be productive, you'd have to like hold your piss like super hard. Your bladder's like this big by the time you're finished with a task, and then you piss, so that you can minimize all the time you go to the toilet, wherever the hell. And it'll just be a carnage on your organs, and your bowels, and your kidneys, and your bladder. It wouldn't be the best thing for you. And so, the sleep thing, you're gonna be sleepy all day. If you have only 5 hours sleep, I don't care what anyone says. Oh, I could sleep, You got 50 freaking ounces of coffee in your freaking esophagus as we speak, talking about some damn oh, well, I'm so productive. Take away the coffee one day, you're gonna die. Honestly, it will just be the case. It will. It will. It just will. And that's not to say that's a bad thing, but like, you're gonna bust your freaking CNS with all that stress and all that cortisol up through the roof, and your adrenaline just being freaking shot and booty blasted into the freaking next freaking hemisphere. Talking about some damn productivity, you can't be productive in that state. So, what's the conclusion of all this? Just do shit. Just do anything. Honestly, I swear to God, the most productive I've ever been was when I promised myself, I'm just gonna pick up that bit of toilet paper that's on the floor. Or, you know what, I'm just gonna, like, there's like a little rubber band on the floor. I'm gonna just pick that up. Sounds like nothing, right? Oh, well, there's a little bit of footage that my employer sent me. So I'm just gonna cut through it just real quick. I mean, it's only the first hour, so I'm just gonna cut through it. Oh shit, I've already edited like half the video. Well, that never happens because I edit a ton when I do edit. But I've already organized the footage properly because this guy was rambling, but his some parts he was talking from here should it be over here, over there. I've already done that. What? An hour just went by and I didn't even realize. Oh, I'm just going to talk about some bullshit and then hopefully I can put it onto YouTube. And now it's already 16 minutes. 16 minutes of, I would say, decent content. Well, 3 minutes of me ranting about the bastardization of religion and how that's terrible for if you want to ever be productive and a good person. Not to say I'm a Jesus-like figure myself. I'm far from it. But you know what I mean. I'm a little sick too, so I really shouldn't be doing this because my throat. But most of the time, if you just open up the idea that there's no such need for extremism, no such need for one thing to another thing, to a one thing to another, and that you can have all the middle ground in the world when it comes to your productivity, you might actually open up yourself to a world of success. I'm not saying this as a freaking bajillionaire, but I've got some more. But I've got more opportunities now. I've got more friends now. I've actually got shit done. I've actually got shit done this time. Because before, I wouldn't get shit done. Or I would do too much to get shit done. And now I don't have that problem. Well, at least it's not even half as bad as it used to be. I used to genuinely working on a video for like 8 to 10 hours a day, unpaid, with absolutely zero ad revenue, for 2 months straight, for one video, for it to flop for 140 views, and then I would just stop doing that shit again. I would just straight up stop, because I was always redoing the video, re-recording the video, redoing everything, and it wouldn't actually benefit be that much. You have to let go of the expectation that you're going to have so much success just by putting in more work. The throughput that you're putting in there, it's very much appreciated from the universe, but you can't be out here expecting it to suddenly give you all the rewards back. A lot of shit comes to those who are patient, and you can only be so patient. So why are you testing yourself to see how much you want to break yourself? In that sense, you can most definitely test yourself in a sense, like in a healthy way. Like saying you're gonna edit a video for 2 to 3 hours a day, perhaps, just to make sure you can get this thing on like by next week or the week after that. That would be way more approachable because you don't have the pressure of killing yourself every time you get into a task. You just have the ability to just flow. You flow into it. Some days maybe it's 4 hours, some days it's maybe 3, some days it's 5. But it's more than if you did 16 one day and then 0 for the next 3 days because you're too burnt out to do it. Legit. 5 hours a day on a task for 4 days. That's 20 hours. You bust your nuts for like, I don't know, 16 hours in one day and then stop for 3 because those 16 hours were burning you out like crazy, and you were like genuinely out here not even properly learning, you were just really exhausted and you were just trying to stay awake for half of it. I just believe that the other option's better. It's like if you were to pummel a muscle and try to get all the volume for 3 weeks in one day. Why the hell do you want to do that? And even if you did get the rest or recovery, it's potentially not even better for you, especially considering stuff like, strength, in terms of like neurological adaptations. You can only get so much from one day, even if you pumped up the volume like crazy. There's also the case of rhabdo. So, that shit applies to work in general. So, if you want to get yourself out of this mess, if you want to get yourself out of a certain rut, you should definitely grind a bit, but it should start from day 1, and not day 1 billion, freaking mafia boss level 500 type of day. It just wouldn't work like that, and it would not be approachable for you, and you would just burn out, you would crash, you die, you just go back to your old lifestyle, because you are a person who jumps from one extreme to the other. Have the middle ground in there, and you will probably be a lot happier, as I've been. And I'm saying this as someone who has a ton of things to get through. Oh my goodness. Like, I've got a ton, a actual literal ton of things that I've got to do to improve on myself. But I'm doing it in a pace way faster than last time. And not even with that much pressure, but just with a simple premise of just doing a little bit. A little bit, which can lead to a lot. That's it for me.